Hey everybody, Drew here from Pella Cars. Absolutely honored to bring you guys this beautiful 2007 Corolla. It's got 116,012 miles on it, and I've got to say before we dive in, it has been years, many years since one of these has showed up this clean and this obviously loved. It does have some cosmetic flaws, they're minor, so make sure you watch the whole video. We're up to about 40% now of people just buying the cars online, either locals that just want to come in once to pick it up, and also people as far away as 2,300 miles, and quite often over 1,500. So this video is where you're going to see all the flaws I could possibly think to show you, so you're either not surprised when you get here, we'd love to have you come test drive it, or you're not surprised when it shows up in your driveway. So this car had two very loving owners. One had it, they were in California for part of it, I think Georgia, then California, then the car made it back to Georgia and North Florida, and then lived, again, this is two owners, they were both ironically very nomadic, and then it was in Maryland and Delaware, and both of those states get about 15 inches of snow per year, which is 100 inches less than Rochester. So this is a very rust-free car, and again, it's full of course, it's got these little cosmetic flaws we're going to point out, but it's full of evidence that it was a very cared for car. So we'll start up front. Front bumper's perfect, and the hood, other than some chips and this scratch, which I don't think I could say wasn't intentional. It looks exactly kind of like a star. I mean, it would be very strange to think that happened by mistake. And then this other scratch there that maybe they parked next to somebody at a parking lot that didn't like them. Who knows? And there is some of this tree sap on the hood. So headlights are in great shape. A little scuff on the front bumper here, little scuff there, and this ding. So this ding right here, again, an extremely rust-free car underneath. It's not too soon to show you that. As you see, just absolutely remarkable. But it has that one spot that all Corollas seem to have, starting right there. So unlike a Rochester car, which is all rotted out underneath and eventually fails inspection or becomes unsafe, this one is super solid. We'll look under there again. But the big cosmetic flaws are that dent, that small rust spot right there, and then really faded paint on the roof. And just, with these Corollas and how hard they are to get in, in condition anywhere near this is a very clean car. It doesn't make sense to invest thousands in making it perfect and then have to add that to the price, which is already quite a bit inflated for these cars as it is. These used to be $3,000 6 years ago. Very sad that that's not the case anymore. But anyways, looking underneath, again, just an absolutely, I'm going to try to get you guys farther under there. So that's the gas tank right there. All the suspension pieces. You can see nuts and bolts on the exhaust. Just remarkable. Not an Arizona car, but pretty darn close for almost 20 years old. So let's see here. There's some scuffs, some scratches on the bumper there. A little gouge. It's got a reverse camera. We'll get to that, or a backup camera. Scuff on the back bumper here, and it looks like somebody touched up a chip. Another scuff. This actually might buff off. There's a little scuff right there and a scratch right there. These tires, again, have about 75% of their tread remaining, and the brakes feel perfect. It's got a door ding right there, and I almost forgot, it's got some dings here. Those might be from having been locked out. That's a very common thing. It doesn't have power locks, by the way, so we know it's not a malfunction, but you can see little dents right there, and that's often where like AAA pries the door right there to get inside. If I had to take a guess. Inside this car is remarkable. Now, I am never one to leave on seat covers. I always take them off and, clean the seats. We get the seats shampooed to perfection, or as close to it as possible, to make the car as original as possible. But goodness, these seat covers are beautiful, and they quite clearly were designed for the 9th gen Corolla here, because they fit perfectly. Same thing with the steering wheel cover. It's executed extremely well. This car showed up so clean. Even the carpet is just perfect in it. It came with all-season mats, which are in the trunk for you, but just look at how beautiful that came together. Of course, if you disagree, you could always take these off. We have not, so we have no idea what's under them, but at a glance, they're pretty tight. The seat, I don't know if you could kind of see there. I wouldn't be surprised, based on how well this car presents itself otherwise, if they just like the seat covers and there's nothing wrong with the seats, but again, it's being offered with them on there. We could dig into that if it's a deal breaker for you. If you know these Corollas, these are almost always broken. It's been probably a decade since I've seen these that work, and these do, so that's pretty awesome. It has 116,012 miles on it. There you go. And this, by the way, is a Bluetooth receiver. It sounds excellent. I'm going to put it in reverse for you there so you can see the backup camera. Start it up here. So super smooth, super quiet. We're going to take you for a drive, actually. Get up to some highway speeds and hit the brakes and all that jazz. Just absolutely remarkable. Remarkable how clean this car is inside. Just beautiful. No odors, nothing like that. And again, just pure evidence in here of a car that was really taken care of. Meticulous people, you know, that trade in cars with nothing wrong with them, you know, good tires, good brakes, perfect clean interior. You know, it's a really good indication that throughout the life of the car it was taken care of, or else it would have been traded in far, you know, less exemplary condition. So it drives as good as it looks. I'm going to take you guys up to highway speed. Again, I can't stress enough, though it's probably irrelevant, how hard these are getting to find. The global market demand for these is insane, and Lagos, Nigeria is twice the size of New York City, and these cars are in very, very, very high demand there, and that's what actually drives up the price in the United States, which is a whole nother topic we could discuss in person if you want. But it drives wonderfully. These Corollas, they were like a mini Camry. Super smooth, super quiet, you know, for what they are. Obviously it doesn't compete with a Lexus, but it's a much smoother ride, a much more comfortable ride than like its biggest competitor, which is the Civic. So there you have it. We're going 60 miles per hour. I'm going to get on a straightaway here, going 60 and hit the brakes nice and hard. No shakes, no shimmies, no rattles, no drama of any kind. Just an absolutely wonderful car. I'm sure you saw it already, but it's automatic. It's a CE, so it has crank windows. At least you know those never break, right? Or, you know, never fail to work when you hit a switch. It does not have power locks, but it does have power mirrors. You know, and your basic safety features like an airbag there and for the passenger. And it does have ice cold air conditioning as well as hot heat. So I'm just gonna wait for this truck to go by and do a U-turn. Actually, hang on one second. All right, that's the most traffic you are ever gonna see out here. If you couldn't tell, we're pretty far out in the country, which is really nice. We're just outside of Brockport to the east on the Rochester side. So we're not a far drive from anybody in Rochester, but a nice peaceful place to test drive a car. As you see here, you do the country block, take a nice long time. And again, by the way, if you've seen enough in this video and you wanna buy this car online, a little bit more hands off the steering wheel, going highway speeds, just a perfect car. We'll get on the brakes again. If you've seen enough and you want to buy it online, you can do so. www.pellacars.com, or just call me directly, 585-771-0111. We can arrange to have this car shipped to you, or again, set up that in-person test drive. Either way, we're glad to help. And hey, by the way, if this video was helpful in your car shopping and you don't plan to buy this car, but you really liked it, a thumbs up on the video is appreciated. It helps our business grow on YouTube. And of course, if you want to see more nearly 20-year-old Toyotas, because that's what we like here, feel free to subscribe. The only thing this channel is used for is the video walkarounds of our inventory here at Pella Cars, which does include, as we drive by, right-hand drive JDM cars, 30-year-old Toyotas, diesel right-hand drive Toyotas from Japan, and soon American classic cars when we open in Georgia. So again, I'm Drew. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Goodbye.